Jai Hind everyone. My name is Dr. Neetu Sharma, Assistant Professor from Applied Sciences and Humanities. Subject name Soft Skills and subject code is BS105. The topic which I have taken today is from Unit 2, that is Listening and Speaking Skills. And the topic is Listening and Types of Listening. So before understanding what is listening, it's important to understand what is actually hearing. So if you really want to understand what is hearing, please understand that we are accustomed to different kind of sounds. We hear different kind of sounds daily, and these kind of sounds are like the sounds of the aeroplane, or you can say rattling of pans and pots, or you can say different kind of sounds, right? So we are trained, or we train ourselves to ignore these sounds because they don't matter to us or they are not important to us. But we choose to hear the sounds which are important for us. Like for example, the telephone ring of our cell phone, right? Because it's important, so we hear it attentively. So obviously it means what we hear. When we hear, that is only a mechanical process. When we do not alert our mind to listen anything, that is called actually hearing. But when we alert our mind and we actually focus, so it means listening is focused. It is purposeful. It requires motivation and effort. So when we talk about listening, so it's, you can say, a concentrated attention, towards the message of the speaker which he wants to express. So that is actually called listening. So listening, you cannot learn. It's a very good skill. You cannot learn at your will. It requires lots of effort and practice and patience. So listening is difficult to acquire, and you can acquire it by doing some kind of practice. So when we talk about speakers, if you really want to become an active listener, so speakers, what they want you to be seen as an active listener, because active listening means listening attentively, listening using all your senses. So listening attentively means that you listen with all your senses. So it means you need to be seen as an attentive listener by showing a positive body language. So you need to lean towards the speaker, make eye contact, put a smile on your face, and then obviously you need to put some expressions, say some kind of expressions like yes, oh. So obviously you need to nod your head. So that is a positive body language. So active listener actually motivates the speaker to speak more by showing a positive body language. So obviously if you show a negative body language, it means like a passive listener. What he does, he doesn't just give a proper response, and he shows a negative body language by showing boredom on his face, or he yawns, or he actually avoids eye contact. So obviously, when he sees you in this way, the speaker, he may conclude that you are not interested in the message which he wants to express to you. So to become an active listener, first you need to develop this kind of body language within you. So now you need to understand, like if you are a student, right? So if you show a careless attitude, or you do not listen well, right? So it actually characterizes you as a passive listener, because an active listener or an active student in the class, what they do, they focus on the content of the message. They do not focus, or they do not pay attention towards the lecturer, to the lecturer, or you can say other kind of distractions in the room. They are focused only on the key ideas, facts and figures that are presented before them, and they try to associate that material with their experiences, whatever they have, right? So it means that listening requires lots of efforts. It's not easy to get it, right? Earlier, yes, we can say, so I hope that you have understood what is actually listening. So first let's understand how by reading it. So listening is receiving language through the ears. Listening involves identifying the sounds of a speech and processing them into words and sentences. When we listen, we use our ears to receive individual sounds like letters, stress, rhythm and pauses, and we use our brain to convert these messages that mean something to us. Listening in any language requires focus and attention. It is a skill that some people need to work at harder than others. People who have difficulty concentrating are typically poor listeners. Listening in a second language requires even greater focus. Like babies, we learn the skill by listening to people who already know how to speak the language. This may or may not include native speakers. For practice, you can listen to live or recorded voices. The most important thing is to listen to a variety of voices as often as you can. So these are some of the facts about listening. So if you want to learn a language, obviously you need to make yourself expert in all these 4 skills, all these 4 areas of a language: listening, speaking, reading and writing. But now you can see here that listening, it is the learn first, use most. It means that we use it 45% throughout the day, whatever we communicate, but it is taught least. When we talk about speaking, right, it is learn the second language, used next most. It means that we use it 30%, right, throughout the day, and it is taught next least. And when we talk about reading, that is learn third, use next least 16%, taught next most, and writing learn fourth, use least 9% and taught most. So the skill which we use most of the time is listening skills, but unfortunately this is not taught in colleges or in schools how to develop this skill, and this is the most important skill. So obviously if you have not developed this skill in you, right, so in ancient times when the writing was not developed, even our ancestors, they used a combination of visuals, or you can say talk tools also, to convey their messages. They use lots of visuals, like virtual things. But nowadays you have recorded audios, you have recorded videos, and you have textbooks also. So you can replay them, you can go back and replay them, and you can listen to them again if you skipped something. But still, I would like to say, or I would like to tell you this thing, that if you learn, or if you learn this skill, how to become a good listener, then you can gain some of all these advantages, by listening or by developing listening skills. So first of all, what is the importance of listening? That you become a better student. So yes, if you listen well in the class, then how it helps you? You become a better student by listening to, you can say, the words which the instructors use. So you not only learn how to identify those words, but you also learn their usage and their complex meaning. So you also memorize and learn the instructions which are given by the instructors in the classroom. So you learn the information better. And again, even in the instructors, they give some verbal cues, the material which is important, and the expectations about the assignment, the specific expectations, right? And obviously the material or the things which are important that are likely to be in exam. So they give some kind of these clues. So it helps you and it makes you a better student. So you learn how to take your notes, and you learn all these things. Yes, you become a better friend. So when you listen to someone, right, attentively, you become a better friend, because you actually listen to that person and very attentively, right? And obviously you try to understand his emotions and feelings. So in this way, the other person perceive you or see you that you are actually a very caring person who takes care of their well-being, right? So you become a better friend and you strengthen your bond and relationship with the people around you by listening to them. Then people will perceive you as intelligent and perceptive. So this is again a very important feature of, or you can say advantage of listening, which you can get, because when you listen to someone, like, you show that you are curious and you understand their perception, you understand their point of view, you very carefully listen to their problems, and then you provide solutions. So other person perceive you as a very intelligent, knowledgeable and thoughtful person, right? Then good listening can help your public speaking. Again, this is a very important advantage, because when you actually listen carefully, public speakings, right? So you actually try, or you start picking up the stylistic or speaking styles of all the speakers. So you learn what works and what doesn't work, for the audience. So like for example, there's a presenter and he's giving a presentation and cites some references. So you learn how to cite, references or how to cite sources effectively in your presentation. So you learn all these things. Then obviously it helps in improving your communication. By listening well, you can actually enhance your vocabulary. You can build a good stock of vocabulary in your mind by listening well to the experts and also the native speakers. So it helps you in improving your communication, because then after that listening well, you give the right real kind of response. Yes, it enhances productivity. If we talk about the organization, how it works. So obviously the managers, they have to build a good relationship with the employees all around them by listening their problems, by listening their grievances and complaints, and provide better solutions. So when the employees, they feel or they think that they are heard, their problems are attended to, so obviously it actually makes them more committed and loyal towards the organization. So eventually it enhances productivity. Then next is better problem solving. So if we talk about better problem solving, so obviously you can give a solution only when you listen well to the problem. And it is said that when the problem is understood, it means that the problem is half solved. So if you understand that what are the causes of the problem, if you identify that what are the things which actually, the factors responsible for the problem, then only you can provide a better solution. So again, for providing a solution, you need to be an effective listener. Then stronger teamwork. Again, how can you become a stronger teamwork? Obviously, when you actually explain all the team members that how they contribute well, in the team, and you build a good team by understanding their problems, you remove all kinds of conflicts and all kinds of misunderstandings by listening to their problems. So you build a good teamwork which do not have any kind of misunderstandings and conflicts, and you build a good team. Deeper relationships. Yes, when you understand well, when you understand the feelings and emotions of all the people around you, you build a kind of trust is built, between you and the people around you, and you are able to strengthen the bond by understanding their emotions and feelings, and by giving a kind of response so they require in that particular situation which they require the most. Then it increases obviously empathy and support. So how it increases empathy and support, as I have already explained to you, because by understanding well to the other person, you actually closely watch the body language of the other person and try to understand that in what emotions and in what kind of situation he's actually expressing that thing. So you not only try to understand the literal meaning of the words, but you also try to understand the true message behind those words, the true meaning behind those words. So you will be able to provide the right kind of support, particularly in that situation. So somewhere you also get support from the other people, because you are also well understood by the other people, because you listen well and you provide the right kind of support to them. So they also provide the right kind of support to you, and it eventually it increases, you become well. Then enhanced well-being. So obviously when you are getting support from the people all around you, it increases, it removes stress, anxiety, and all kind of worries from your personal life. And last is personal growth. So obviously when you listen well to the other people, it increases your knowledge. You are able to do a kind of self-reflection. You are able to think that what kind of thoughts you have in your mind. You are able to explore yourself, because obviously when you are able to increase your knowledge, you are able to give the right kind of thoughts, or or you can say you are able to feed with right kind of thoughts to your mind, right? So it helps in personal growth and development. So these are some of the benefits which we have heard, how that listening plays a very important role in our life. So I hope that you have understood that how much listening is important, how important role it plays in our life, and we need to acquire this. Then these are the types of listening. So we will talk all about them one by one. So first one is active listening. So when we talk about active listening, I have already explained to you the terms and the keywords which we use or which are used in active listening. That is, it is focused, it is purposeful, it is attentive, and obviously active means that you have to listen actively, right? So it means you have to listen with all your senses. So remember, when you listen to someone, then you are also required to remember all the facts and all the information which is actually expressed by the speaker to you. So then after that, you give a proper response and you use a positive body language. So that we all do in active listening, right? So it means in active listening, you are expected to give the right kind of response after the conversation gets over. So when we talk about active listening, so let's take an example, right? Suppose your manager, during a performance appraisal, he actually explains to you that you actually required I think you need to improve your time management skills. And after that, the employee replies that it means that what you want that I should prioritize the project deadlines and I should avoid multitasking. So obviously the manager smiles and he understands there that you have understood the message in the right sense. So this is an example of active listening, that how appropriately you give a response after listening to the comment of your manager. Next is passive listening. So as I have already told you, passive listening means the listener is not completely involved in the listening process. Obviously, his mind is not alert. He is actually somewhere else. He avoids eye contact. He yawns. He shows boredom on his face, and he demotivates the speaker to speak more. So obviously, he doesn't provide any kind of response, and he actually somewhere else. So when we take an example of passive listening, so let's take an example of passive listening. So, like for example, in passive listening, if suppose the two kids, they are watching a cartoon in the television, and suppose their parents they come and they want to discuss about the trip they are planning the next day. Okay, so you give a response, okay, yeah, when they discuss about the trip, and the next day when the kids they wake up, they were surprised to see that everyone is actually preparing and leaving for the trip. So it means this is an example of passive listening when you were actually distracted or you were actually somewhere else when someone is talking to you. The next is empathetic listening. So when we talk about empathetic listening means that you observe very carefully the facial expressions, the body language of the speaker, and you try to understand his feelings and emotions. So you show an empathetic nature to provide a solution to his problem, and obviously it gives a signal to the listener that you care about his well-being, right? So when we talk about empathetic listening, we can give a very good example in this. Like for example, if one of your friends, he tells you that he did not pass the exam and he's not good enough. So instead of replying like, okay, that happens, you can say that yes, I understand that how much it hurts you because you have really worked hard. So obviously, if you give such kind of response, then the listener, or you can say he understands, the speaker understands that you understand him, you understand his problem, and you are providing the right kind of support in the right situation. The next one is called biased listening. So biased listening happens when you actually give a response or when you communicate with someone on the basis of your preconceived notions or beliefs, or you make a judgment, right? Like for example, if someone talks to you, you actually listen only that part which confirms your views and opinion and belief, and you ignore the part which doesn't confirm your beliefs and opinions. So this is called biased listening. So let's take an example of biased listening. Suppose there's a manager and he actually explains or he asks suggestions from the employees to improve the work culture of the organization. So one of the employee, he says about how this can be improved, and it was a very good idea, but actually the boss, he doesn't like that employee. Okay, so he becomes biased, and he actually does not continue that part, or that communication, because he thinks that always complain these employees are no good for the organization. So obviously the idea was very good, but it gets waste because he was biased. The next was discriminative listening. So discriminative listening means that when you are able to differentiate between sounds, words and tone. So that is called discriminative listening. So let's take example, like one by one. We will take the examples of all the sounds, tone, word and sounds. Like for example, suppose you are playing in a playground and there are lots of people there, and you are able to recognize the voice of your mother among them all, right? So this is an example of discriminative listening. Let's take another example. Suppose you are a friend of one of your friend. He actually says to you that he is fine, but in a trembling voice. So you can easily guess, and you can understand, you can easily identify that he's unfit actually, right? So this is another example, like listening to the words, in what tone it was said, you can easily differentiate that in what situation he is. Another example you can take of discriminative listening, like suppose you are in a class and your teacher says in a very sarcastic tone, "That's interesting," after his treatment. So if she says in a sarcastic tone, "That's interesting," so it means that she disagrees with you, right? So after listening to the sound, or you can say the tone, you can understand that what kind of sentence it is. Then evaluative listening. So when we talk about evaluative listening, so evaluative listening means when you listen to the information or message and then evaluate in your mind or analyze in your mind to check its authenticity or credibility, or you can say the truthfulness, accuracy and logic of the statements. That is called evaluative listening. So let's take an example. One of your friend, he offers you to buy a fitness supplement, and he says that it can reduce your weight 10 kg in a week. So obviously you will analyze in your mind that is there any scientific proof, or it sounds so unhealthy. So obviously after analyzing all these things, you decide not to buy that fitness supplement. Again, like suppose you listen to a minister's speech, a politician, right? And after listening to his speech, as a voter, right, being a voter, you actually analyze his statements, that are these promises realistic? Are these promises aligned with his past performances or previous work? So you evaluate, and after that you decide. So this is called evaluative listening. The next is attentive listening. So when we talk about attentive listening, means that you are very attentive while listening, and you are actually listening only to absorb the ideas and to take it. You are not listening it for empathizing or for evaluating. You are not evaluating anything in your mind. You are just listening only to absorb and learn. So this is called attentive listening. For example, in a class, your history professor, he is actually explaining the causes of World First War, right? So here you only absorb that what are the causes, what are the reasons because of which happened World First War, right? So this is called attentive listening. And the last one is focused listening. So when we talk about focused listening, means you are focused on a specific information and you are filtering out all the noises behind that information, or you can say behind the scene, right? So this is called focused listening. Focused listening means you can take an example, like suppose you are sitting in a noisy, busy cafe and an interviewer is taking your interview. So he asked a question that give me an example where you exhibited or you showed your leadership skills. So obviously there are so many noises in the background, like the rattling of dishes, or you can say the chattering of all the people all around you, but you ignore all of them and you focus only on the question to give the reply, right? To reply of that question. So this is an example of focused listening. So these are all types of listening which I have explained to you. I hope that you have understood all of them well. and you listen it well too. So we are blessed that we are blessed with 2 ears and 1 mouth, a constant reminder that we should listen at least twice as much as we talk. So I have told you all the benefits, and obviously I hope that you will try to bring all these things in your life, that you will listen well first to the other, and after that you will give reply or respond to them. So these are some prescribed books, okay, by the university. You can use any one of them. Thank you for your patience and attentive listening. See you in the next lecture. Thank you so much.